It's been over 4 years since the iPhone 12 Pro Max was released, making it a pretty old phone by today's standards. But if there's one thing about iPhones, is that people still want to buy them, even years after launch. Back in 2020, this device hit the market with a hefty price tag of 1,100 USD. But fast forward to 2025, and you can now get a refurbished one for less than 400 USD. But with the newer models offering better performance, cameras, and battery life, is the iPhone 12 Pro Max still worth buying in 2025? Let's find out in this video. Now, the first thing you'll notice about the iPhone 12 Pro Max is its stunning display, and even in 2025, it holds up remarkably well. This display still screams quality. Get it? I said screen instead of scream. Anyways, Apple went all out with this screen, packing in a high-resolution 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR OLED panel that delivers deep blacks, punchy colors, and excellent contrast. Now yes, it's only a 60Hz, and if you're coming from a 120Hz phone, you'll notice the difference. But here's the thing, Apple's optimization is no joke. The animations are smooth, and unless you're putting it side by side with the newer iPhone, most people won't be bothered by it. Brightness is another solid point. The iPhone 12 Pro Max can hit a peak brightness of 1200 nits, which, while not as high as some of today's top displays, is still more than enough for most situations. Whether you're using the phone outdoors, under direct sunlight, or in a dimly lit room, legibility remains excellent. Being a Pro Max model, this phone was designed to feel premium in every way, and it still does. Apple didn't cut any corners to the materials, and you get top-tier durability and aesthetics. The stainless steel frame not only adds to its premium look, but also makes the phone feel solid and sturdy in hand. IP68 water resistance means it will survive an accidental dunk in water, and that ceramic shield glass has probably saved thousands of screens by now. And let's not forget about the frosted glass back, which adds to the phone's sleek design. Not only does it look amazing, but it also feels great to the touch and helps resist fingerprints better than glossy backs. It's kind of remarkable how well this design has aged. Now here's the thing about iPhone cameras, they just work. The 12 Pro Max comes with 4 lenses. A 12 megapixel main, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens, a 12 megapixel telephoto lens with 2.5 times optical zoom, and a 12 megapixel front-facing selfie camera. As expected from an iPhone, the camera system produces sharp, detailed images with excellent dynamic range. The photos have that signature iPhone look, natural colors, good dynamic range, and enough detail to keep most people happy. For video lovers, both the front and rear cameras support 4K recording at 60 frames per second, making it a fantastic device for shooting high-quality videos. Whether you're a content creator or just someone who enjoys filming, this phone offers an excellent experience. The addition of Dolby Vision HDR further enhances video quality, providing richer colors, deeper contrast, and an overall more cinematic look. While newer iPhones may come with even better zoom capabilities and AI-powered enhancements, the iPhone 12 Pro Max still delivers an excellent camera experience that still holds its own against many modern smartphones. One of the best things about iPhones is their long-term software support, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max is no exception. Unlike most Android phones that receive updates for only 3 or 4 years, iPhones typically get around 6 years of software updates, ensuring they remain secure and functional for a long time. As of 2025, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is still running the latest iOS 18, packed with new features, improved security, and performance optimizations. If Apple follows its usual update cycle, the phone should continue receiving updates until at least 2026, which is impressive for a device that launched in 2020. Even after the official updates stop, the phone will still receive security patches, keeping it safe for an extended period. While it may not have the latest AI-powered features found in newer iPhones, iOS remains smooth, fast, and reliable, making the iPhone 12 Pro Max a solid buy even years after its release. Now let's talk about performance. The A14 Bionic processor in here is like that overachieving kid in class who's still getting A's without trying. In 2025, it's still trading blows with current mid-range chips, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. The 6GB of RAM doesn't sound impressive on paper, especially in 2025 when phones are packing 12GB or more. But here's the thing, iPhone's memory management is just different. You can jump between Instagram, Safari, and your favorite games without the phone breaking a sweat. Sure, it might reload apps a bit more often than the latest Pro Max, but in real-world use, most people won't notice. Now for the interesting part, the price. This thing launched at 1100 USD, which is a lot of money in 2020. It's still a lot of money now, but now you can grab a refurbished unit for under $400. That's wild. You're essentially getting 80% of a modern flagship iPhone experience for about a third of the price. Think about it. Premium build, solid cameras, flagship class performance, and software support through 2026 for $400. Sure, you're missing out on promotion, the latest camera tricks, and whatever face scanning AI features they've cooked up lately. But if you just want a solid iPhone that will handle everything you throw at it, this is it. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, that 60Hz display. In 2020, Apple was already playing catch up. Android phones are pushing 120Hz while the 12 Pro Max was stuck at 60Hz, and in 2025, it's even more noticeable. Look, iOS optimization is great. The animations are smooth, scrolling is decent, but it's still 60Hz. If you're coming from a modern phone with a higher refresh rate, you're going to feel it. Everything's just a bit slower. It's not unusable, but it's just not as snappy as what you're probably used to. Another downside is the notch. When the iPhone 12 Pro Max first launched, the notch was necessary to house Face ID sensors and the front camera. But in 2025, it feels outdated. Apple has since moved to the dynamic island on newer models, which not only looks better but also adds functional animations and interactions. While the notch doesn't really interfere with everyday use, it does take up space at the top of the screen, and this feels like an old design choice compared to newer iPhones and modern Android phones with smaller cutouts or under-display cameras. It may not be a big deal for everyone, but if you prefer the sleek, modern look of newer iPhones, the large notch could be a deal breaker. This phone is stuck with the Lightning port, and in 2025, that is just awkward. USB-C is everywhere now. Your laptop, tablet, Android phones, and even your new AirPods. But this phone, you need to keep that lightning cable around. It's slower for data transfer, slower for charging, and just one more cable cluttering up your desk. Then there's battery life. You're working in 2020 battery technology. The A14 chip is efficient, sure, but 4 years of battery degradation is no joke. Best case scenario, you're looking at an okay battery life. Worst case, you're hunting for power outlets by mid-afternoon. Most used 12 Pro Max units you'll find have been through hundreds if not thousands of charge cycles, so the battery health is probably somewhere south of optimal. This is all manageable if you're near a charger throughout the day, but if you're someone who needs their phone to last from dawn till midnight with heavy use, this ain't it. So, is the iPhone 12 Pro Max worth picking up in 2025? Here's the thing, at around $400 refurbished, you're getting a lot of what makes iPhones great. Premium build quality, solid cameras, that Apple ecosystem integration, and software updates for another year or so. Not bad. But that 60Hz display is a real sticking point for me. And while you can live with the notch and the lightning port, they are constant reminders that you're using 2020 tech in 2025. For the same money, you could grab a newer mid-range Android phone with a better specs or save up a bit more for more recent iPhones. The 12 Pro Max isn't a bad phone. It is just showing its age in ways that matter. Bottom line, if you're on a tight budget and absolutely need to stay in the Apple ecosystem, then sure, go for it. It'll get the job done. But if you can stretch your budget or don't mind switching platforms, there are better options out there. Sometimes the best value isn't about getting the cheapest version of a premium thing. It's about getting the right tool for right now. Thanks for watching. I'm Milan and this is PhysiTech. Subscribe.